African scientists have identified a new version of the coronavirus that they say is behind a recent spike in COVID-19 infections in Gauteng, the country's most populous province. It's unclear where the new variant first emerged, but scientists in South Africa alerted the World Health Organization in recent days, and it has now been seen in travelers arriving in several countries from Australia to Israel to the Netherlands. On Friday, the World Health Organization designated it as a variant of concern, naming it Omicron after a letter in the Greek alphabet. South Africa's Health Minister, Joe Phaahla, has said that the variant was linked to an exponential rise of cases in the last few days. From just over 200 new confirmed cases per day in recent weeks, South Africa saw the number of new daily cases rocket to more than 3,200 on Saturday, most in Gauteng. Now, struggling to explain the sudden rise in cases, scientists studied the virus samples and discovered the new variant. Now, as many as 90% of the new cases in Gauteng are caused by it, according to Tulio de Oliveira, the director of the KwaZulu Natal Research Innovation and Sequencing Platform. After convening a group of experts to assess the data, the World Health Organization said that the preliminary evidence suggests an increased risk of infection with these variants as compared to other variants. Now, that means that people who contracted COVID-19 and recovered could be subject to catching it again. Now, SHARON, who has led genetic sequencing of COVID-19 in Britain at the University of Cambridge, said that the data so far suggests the new variant has mutations consistent with enhanced transmissibility, but said that the significance of many of the mutations is still not known. Lawrence Young, a virologist at the University of Warwick, has described Omicron as the most heavily mutated version of the virus we have seen till date, including potentially worrying changes never before seen in the same virus. Now, scientists know that Omicron is genetically distinct from previous variants, including the Beta and the Delta variants, but do not know if these genetic changes make it any more transmissible or dangerous. So far, there is no indication that the variant causes more severe disease. It will likely take weeks to sort out if Omicron is more infectious and if vaccines are still effective against him. Peter Openshaw, a professor of experimental medicine at the Imperial College in London, has said that it was extremely unlikely that current vaccines wouldn't work, noting they are effective against numerous other variants. Even though some of the genetic changes in Omicron appear worrying, it is still unclear if they will pose a public health threat. Now, some previous variants, like the Beta variant, initially alarmed scientists but didn't end up spreading very far. Now, we don't know if this new variant could get a toehold in regions where Delta is, according to PEACOCK of the University of Cambridge. The jury is out on how well this variant will do where there are other variants circulating. To date, Delta is by far the most predominant form of COVID-19, accounting for more than 99% of sequences submitted to the world's biggest public database. The coronavirus mutates as it spreads, and many new variants, including those with worrying genetic changes, often just die out. Now, as scientists who monitor COVID-19 sequences for mutations that could make the disease more transmissible or deadly, but they cannot determine by simply looking at the virus. Now, PEACOCK has said that the variant may have evolved in someone who was infected, but could then not clear the virus, giving the virus the chance to genetically evolve in a scenario that's similar to how experts think the Alpha variant, which was first identified in England, also emerged by mutating in an immune-compromised person. Now, in response to this new variant, several countries have put in place new travel guidelines. Israel is banning foreigners from entering the country, and Morocco has stopped all incoming international air travel. The United States of America, Canada, Brazil have imposed prohibition from the region, with exceptions for their citizens and permanent residents and for a few other categories. Britain and the EU countries have also introduced travel restrictions on Friday, some within hours of learning of the variant. Saudi Arabia, Japan, Russia, Australia and India have also put in restrictions in varying measures. Now, vaccine makers are working to determine the efficacy of their vaccines. Pfizer and BioNTech have said that they are investigating the new heavily mutated variant of the virus that caused COVID-19. Now, the companies have said that they can adapt their mRNA vaccine within 6 weeks and start shipping batches within 100 days if an escape variant is identified. Moderna, Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca have said they are also investigating and testing the new variant.